Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and thank you again very much for supporting what I do and this channel and all of that good stuff. Please, if this is the first time you're watching a video, please smash that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. So with all that out of the way, I did have a little bit of house cleaning I needed to take care of as it relates to the K-Member unboxing video that I did the other day. I had a few questions, and so I spoke with my contact at Maximum Motorsports. Let me just say, those guys have fantastic customer service, and these guys know their freaking stuff. So the first thing I need to go over with the K-Member is, number one, I have a, hold on, I've made some notes here. My front control arms are reverse offset 0.75 inch. Okay, the reason that is because all Maximum Motorsports K-Members have a forward offset of 0.75. The second thing is, and hold on, let me backtrack a little bit. So what that does essentially is keeps the stock wheelbase, the 0.75 cancels each other out, and everything stays exactly the same. The second thing that I misspoke on is I don't have the street track kit, I have the street kit, and there is a difference. And again, this one maintains the stock wheelbase, so that is massively important. And then the last mistake that I made was my K-Member is not up to 04, it is up to 95. So please forgive me, I screwed up. But I wanted to clarify that suspension components as a whole are extremely misunderstood, and I wanted to make sure I was not giving you inaccurate information, because hopefully you're watching this and getting something out of this. So I wanted to kind of backtrack a little bit and make sure that you got all the information you need, and that you pay attention when you're going to order your parts, and make sure that if you're wanting to extend or move the wheelbase, shorten the wheelbase, that you pay attention to that. If you want to keep it, you know, exactly as stock, then of course you want the zero offset, which would be the street kit. So with that out of the way, let's kind of move on to some other stuff. So I do have to admit, this week has been really crazy. Actually, the past several weeks have been really crazy, and I've said it before and I said it again. This is a real world build. You know, this is not a pie in the sky. I don't just sit around all day and dream of parts and order parts and goo goo and gaga over them. You know, obviously Christmas is coming. My youngest has a birthday this Friday. I need to do some work to the front end of the wife's GT. And to be quite frank with you, that's putting a damper on, you know, any parts that I'm going to order. Why? Because family comes first. And I think if you have a family, well, pretty much everybody has a family, then you kind of get that. You know, I've got a birthday and then Christmas to buy for 3 girls, you know, which is like in a week and a half, roughly. And I've got to do some, probably inner and outer tie rods, possibly ball joints on the wife's GT. She drives the car daily, and it's starting to creak and groan and has some play in it, and I've got to get that taken care of. So, you know, reality slap in the face. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put off a lot of the things that I've been wanting to do with the build in order to take care of the, you know, the family stuff. So, you know, is it frustrating? Kinda, but at the same time, I have to be adult about it and realize I'm just kind of, you know, the car is part of the business, and the business is basically covering this build. But at the same token, you know, the business is also how I eat and how I feed my family. So, you know, it's a very tough, you know, thin line or gray area, whatever you want to call it, to make this work. And you know, right now I have to prioritize things, and the Coyote is not 100% priority. Not that anything is not going to be getting done, but it is going to slow down progress a little bit, and you know, it is what it is. So no tears, let's just roll. So if you caught yesterday's upload, I pretty much brought you up to speed on all of the parts that I've got for the Coyote swap right now. But when I say there's a lot of parts, there is a lot of parts. Now, the big parts are easy. Like I said, you already know what I've got for the swap already. What are the other big parts that I need at this point? The next one are headers and exhaust, which I believe I've got that nailed down. I'm not going to announce until I got it 100% finalized, but I've been doing a lot of research. And again, if you've caught the other uploads, I talk about why headers are so important, because some headers work with some K members and some don't. So go back and watch that video if you haven't checked it out already. But like I said, I think I got it knocked pretty much lined up. And trust me when I say they're going to be 1 3/4 into a 3-inch off-road X pipe, and flow tubes will be 3-inch, and the mufflers will be 3-inch. So we're going for max flow. It's gonna sound friggin' demonic. So what are the other big parts that I need? The transmission. I have that lined up. Obviously, my stock T5 is not going to live behind the Coyote, so I went ahead and sold the T5 out of the car. Pardon the noise in the background. The beater does rattle. And again, I don't want to announce it 100% until I've basically got it in hand, because you never know what can happen. So I'm not going to announce it, but it will be able to handle everything I throw at it, slicks included. So that will be cool. Okay, what's the next stuff? The next stuff is clutch. I need a clutch, and I'm going to need something that will be streetable, will not have one leg larger than the other, but also handle the power. And if I do, decide to launch it on slicks or drag radials, it's going to live. So that's the next thing. Following that, I need a bell housing. I'm going to need a modular bell housing. Obviously, I'm running a modular engine, and it's going to have to be adaptable to whatever transmission I put in it. And there's several that do that. QuickTime, Lakewood. I'm probably going to be running a QuickTime bell housing, and that will essentially seal up the drivetrain. We won't know, because it is a T5. The transmission that I'm planning on, it's a fully built up to 600 horse, but we won't know until we actually get it in the car. Is the stock drive shaft going to work? The answer is probably not, but so there may have to be a custom drive shaft that I get made. So that pretty much seals up the drivetrain. It's going to be bulletproof. It's going to be rock solid. It's going to last, and it'll be able to handle anything I throw at it. Pardon me, I am multitasking today, getting things ready for Gracie's birthday. If you want to meet Gracie, she is in the Thanksgiving Day upload, and I put her on the spot, but that's my littlest. She'll be 11. Anyway, let us get back to the task at hand, which is covering all of the parts that we need. So we got the drivetrain pretty well covered. Let's talk about a lot of the little stuff that a lot of people don't think about. You're gonna need the control pack, obviously. I've got that pretty well taken care of. Next things I'm going to need are power steering and air conditioning lines. Basically, those lines will be off of a 2000 model Mustang GT. Those will all fit and work and all of that good stuff. The next thing I need is a cooling fan solution. The car had clutch fan on it before, and that will not work now for the engine swap. So I need to find a good quality cooling fan, which I did see some killer options at the PRI show. If you didn't catch that one, that's a killer video. You need to check that out. So AC power steering lines, and then cooling fan. Then you've got motor mounts. Got to have motor mounts. Those are those little important things that go between the Spiffy K member and the Epic Coyote. Then I need to get a new cross member to replace the factory double hump unit, because I'm going to need some adjustability, and I believe I've got that handled too. Stiflers for the Win. They've got them for the 6R80, and they've got the ones for the stick shift. that have plenty of adjustability for if you want to run a T56 or a Magnum or a T5 or, I don't know, a freaking top loader or something. It's got you covered there. So, you know, those are some of the small parts. I think I talked about finishing the exhaust. That's got to happen. And then traffic is garbage today. These people pull out. Look at this lady. Totally pulled out. Yeah, I got to put her on blast. So that's a lot of the small parts I still have to get. And then there's also fuel line adapter fittings. Those fittings, what they do is they allow me to use the stock fuel lines and match up with the Coyote lines. And then also I've got to get a fuel pressure regulator to go in between there. That is definitely a must-have. And then as far as a fuel pump, I need a 255 in tank to add a little extra fuel. I've got a 155 in it now, which, to be honest, I think would probably work fine. But while we're at it, I want to go ahead and do a 255 just to make sure she's happy and fed. So there is another long list of parts that have to be ordered, and every one of these is adding up. And again, I told you I'm going to have a downloadable PDF on the website that's going to allow you to have all the part numbers, the prices, where to buy them, all that good stuff. The reason I don't have that up yet is because the list isn't complete, and what I don't want you to have to do is go to the website like every other day and re-download this PDF because I'm constantly adding parts. So it seemed kind of like a waste of time for me to just, you know, add parts as I go, because again, you don't want to have to download it every time I add parts. So I'm making the list. Once it's 100% complete, it'll be on the website, free for you to download. You can get all the parts you need off of there, and basically be your guide to swapping to Coyote. So mission accomplished for Gracie's birthday today. Yep. We have pie, we have card, and got a little something to stuff in the card. All the presents were bought last week, and Mrs. Foxcast got those all wrapped up. Shout out to my wife for doing that. You're awesome. So back to the Coyote. Some of the other smaller parts. Yes, there's more. We're not done yet. Things like radiator hoses. Yep, gotta have radiator hoses. Now, I've talked with Jeremy about this. He knows exactly which ones we need, and I cannot remember for the life of me which ones they are. But gotta have radiator hoses, and then we have to have a cold air intake, which I'm going with a massively sexy JLT unit that will be painted body color, by the way. It's this giant freaking 4-inch cold air, and it's painted the same color as the car. Yeah, they do that custom stuff, so hit up JLT because they're the bomb. And then I'm also doing the 2015 and up engine cover, so it's gonna look, you know, like all clean and spiffy like a 2015 engine. But I'm also doing that in body color with some carbon fiber accents. So when this engine's dressed, I'm telling you guys, it is gonna look freaking phenomenal. Oh, I can't forget the covers that go over the coils. I'm also getting those, which will be body colored with carbon fiber accents. So when it's in the car and the engine's dressed, your mind will be blown. I know mine will be. It is going to look absolutely freaking phenomenal. So, and I've got this list at home. I'm sorry I'm scatterbrained today. I'm definitely multitasking, trying to get this upload done and get all of my little BS done as well. But, you know, so that's just an idea of all the parts that you have to have, and I'm probably missing some. I'll go back and watch this upload. Whatever I miss, I will cover in another episode to make sure you got it. Don't fret. I mean, don't sit here with a pen and paper trying to write everything down, because like I said, I'll have everything on a PDF for you so that you can download it, print it out, have it on your phone, and print a hard copy, whatever you want to do, so that you can, you know, go and get these parts, and you're not going to be scratching your head and searching all this stuff out, because there is a lot. It's all the big stuff is easy. The headers, the engine, the transmission, the K-member, blah, 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 all that stuff. That's the easy part. The small part is all the little nickel and dime stuff that you don't think about, and truth be told, all of that stuff is pretty much going to add up to about what you're paying for all the big stuff. Like, I get a lot of people that say, oh, I can do a coyote swap. I found an engine cheap. That's just the beginning. When I say just the beginning, I mean that is just the beginning. So, you know, be prepared. I want you to be prepared. I want you to watch these and get a very thorough understanding of what it takes to perform this swap. Because I'm learning as I go as well, so we're kind of doing this together. But anyway, that's kind of the short list that I've got for you right now. And anything that I missed, I promise I will cover, and it will be on the PDF as well. So sweat not, fearless coyote swappers of the world. I got you covered. So I hope you got a lot out of this upload. I know it's a lot of talking, but I also wanted to cover a lot of pertinent information with you as far as the swap goes, and what's going on in my world, the Foxcast Media world. And so probably next week we're going to take Mrs. Foxcast GT, see what's going on with it, and get that front end straightened around for her. If you caught the video where I kind of talked about it, and you know, the kind of the history behind her GT, it's like, it's worth it to fix it, because I think it's probably a car we're going to keep forever. And don't be surprised if right here on the channel we end up coyote swapping her car and doing a 6R80 in it, simply because that was her first Mustang GT. She loves it, and it's really been a great car and served her well and all that. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what it's rattling in my head, is have the car painted, do some suspension, some wheels, shave the rear spoiler, you know, get the windows retinted, and do a Coyote and 6R80 for her, because she doesn't like stick shift. But so I'm going to get the front end kind of rebuilt for her, and you know, get it back driving the way it should, and try and survive Christmas and birthdays and all that good stuff without going completely broke. But anyway, lots more stuff coming, I promise. And if you like this upload, please give me a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. Lots more epic content coming, so keep it tuned. Rock cheer. Later, guys.